On the eve of President Biden's 100th day in office, he delivered his first major address to a joint session of Congress tonight. And it looked very different for two reasons. First, instead of the traditional full House, only 200 people were allowed inside the chamber to maintain social distancing. And for the first time ever, two women sat behind the president, Vice President Kamala Harris and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Matt Doherty has other highlights from tonight's address.
President Joe Biden declared America is on the move again, saying swift action and mass vaccines have changed the course of the pandemic in the U.S. He also said financial relief has saved families across the country.
A single mom in Texas who wrote me, she said she couldn't work, but she said the relief check put food on the table and saved her and her son from eviction.
Biden said the work is far from finished. He proposed the American Jobs Plan, aimed at creating jobs through investments in infrastructure.
Creates jobs, building a modern power grid. Our grids are vulnerable to storms, hacks, catastrophic failures, with tragic results, as we saw in Texas and elsewhere during the winter storms.
Biden says his plan would give the right for workers to unionize and requests that the minimum wage be increased to $15 an hour. He also would like to expand education for all.
12 years is no longer enough today to compete with the rest of the world in the 21st century. That's why my American Families Plan guarantees 4 additional years of public education for every person in America, starting as early as we can.
Biden proposed free child care for families who can't afford it and up to 12 weeks of paid family or medical leave for workers. Among the First Lady's virtual guests, a Houston nurse. Javier Quiroz Castro is also a DACA recipient and recalls growing up undocumented.
Born in Mexico, parents brought me over to the United States for a better life. I arrived around the age of 3. I grew up here. This is what I call, this is home to me.
The president called for sweeping immigration changes that would give dreamers like Castro protection. Towards the end, President Biden spoke about the death of George Floyd and is requesting the passage of the police reform bill.
Now's our opportunity to make some real progress.
From Houston, I'm Matt Doherty, KHOU 11 News.